Carolyn, Wednesday's walk, and we're heading up 1,000 steps in Huntingdon County. You can hear from the noise in the background, this is a very, very busy place as far as traffic. We're right along Route 22 and the cars and trucks come fast by. It's dangerous here when you start out, so I want to point that out. If you end up coming here, you're going to park down right along Route 22 and then safely walk on the curb here until you get to the entrance. But once we're inside, it looks like it's going to be nice and peaceful. Let's start up and see if we can find my friend, meteorologist Joe Murgo, on the path as we talk about weather in this week's Wednesday's Walk. Early on our trek up the 1,000 steps, you'll come across signs that say to stay safe and healthy. This is part of the state game land, so the Pennsylvania Game Commission are the folks who help keep this open and clear. And we'll get more of a history lesson on what all this means coming up. There's a beautiful stream to the left of these steps. Across a description of the 1,000 steps and how it all got built. And we'll put a link right here so you can learn more about how this came to be. Pack it in, pack it out, leave no trace. That's always the guide of anyone on a walk. We don't want to leave any trace, any garbage left behind. So we're heading up these steps, and we can take breaks along the way. Joe tells me he's up at the top, but he's coming down, so we'll catch him soon. This is the view that I get as I walk up each step very carefully. And again, if you come with your grown-ups, you will likely take lots of breaks along the way. And that is fine. I am going to too. Now the course does flatten out just a little bit at certain places, so you can really stop and take a look around and catch your breath. Looks mighty steep in the area that we've already climbed up, and we're just beginning. Here's where I'm heading. Come join me. I think it's important to point out at this time, this is a very steep walk. I'm in fairly good shape, but I'm out of breath. So you have to take your time, and you can stop and make sure you've packed your water and take water breaks. And you can get to the top. We all can. Just be very careful. As we said in earlier walks, the good news is I can kind of see the skyline It's getting brighter, so that leads me to believe we might be getting close to the top. Let's keep going. This is pretty. Coming to a big rock formation. As I huff and puff, I'm stopping for another minute for breath. I wanted to show you where we're at right now and what you can see if you come on up. Not sure how far along we are. I didn't count my steps. Might be a good idea, but it is beautiful. Beautiful view for everyone to enjoy. My friends who just were hiking it up said it is not for the weary. So you have to plan and take your time, but you can do it. I'm gonna sure get to the top. I hope you'll try this someday too. Another staircase. Let's see what's ahead on this one. It's beautiful here, and it's steady, and you can just take your time. That is the important word to remember. Take your time, boys and girls, moms and dads, grown-ups going with the kiddos on your way up. Why, I finally found a marker. We're at step 400 coming up on our way to 1,000. Keep on climbing. There it is. We are halfway up. It's beautiful. I'm taking a rest. You can too. And formations stacked on top of each other. Get us to the top. Stop up there. Let's see. Oh, can you tell I'm out of breath? But when you get to step 700, you know there's only a couple hundred more to go. Let's keep climbing. Remember to take a break, get a drink of water, and for me, wipe off all the perspiration I've acquired on the hike up. I don't know if you can see different patterns. I think those might have been, I don't know, guessing, leaves or stems of roots that got embedded in the stone as it was formed. We'll ask Joe. Oh boy, can you see what that says? Looks like a 3, but it's an 8. 800 steps done, 200 more to go. Here we go. In the distance, I can hear some other hikers. Looks like they might be coming down this. Final 200 steps here on our way to the top of 1,000 steps. I haven't turned around basically for a while, but I want you to know that it's a pretty narrow staircase, so you don't want to get too far to one side or the other. You do not want to fall off of this. It could hurt. You have to be careful going up and down. It has definitely gotten really sunny really fast. So I think we're almost to the top, boys and girls. It's also gotten a little bit wetter. I can hear kids up there enjoying the top. Can't wait to get there. Can you? Okay, boys and girls, I see 1,000, but guess what? We still have a couple steps. I heard this happened. This is my first time up, but others have told me that you have a few steps beyond 1,000. Just a few. And you're this far, we can make it. We're definitely at the top. No more steps, but it looks like you have a couple of things you can do while you're up here. I don't know which way to go. I think I'm going to go first this way and then this way to see the view. We are at the top and we met a family here. Where are you guys from?
Altoona.
Altoona, is this your first time up?
Yes, ma'am.
What'd you think?
Oh, I loved it. Very fun.
It's not for the faint of heart though, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, but I think anybody can do it if they take their time.
Taking our time. Yeah, we took a couple of breaks on the way up.
Great.
Absolutely.
And
it
you
is a beautiful view up here.
Now you climbed a little higher than boys and girls probably will be able to climb. So just adults probably up there. That's cool. You want to wave hi? All right. Thanks for sharing.
Absolutely.
All right. We're back to where we go down, but we went to the right. We saw that one family. Let's head this way and see if we can find Joe Murgo, our meteorologist, who's going to tell us how he does this and a little bit about the weather that I can tell you and I can show you is awfully hot today. Not wiped myself off, as you can tell. It is hot up here, but it's beautiful. And I would recommend coming up and seeing this vantage point at some point in your life. Wow. Takes your breath away.
Hey,
Here
kids.
on the shelf, oh my goodness, we are at the top. Joe Murgo, chief meteorologist at WTAJ. You and I work together,
Yep.
but I never climbed this with you. You are a hero, Joe.
I like hiking, so it's a lot of work. And at least we did this earlier in the day to prevent the heat of the day.
That's what we want to focus on.
Yes.
Of course, you're kind of, I would term almost an expert hiker because you kayak, you camp, you hike, but you know what to do. And boys and girls, you probably have some good suggestions on what to do in heat like this when you want to do these kind of things.
And that's exactly it, Carolyn. And that's the one thing I thought we were going to talk about for today. And it's your body's air conditioning system. You actually have one built in. And I'm going to give everyone an experiment that they can do at home. And I want you to think about it, because we do have a natural air conditioning system. And the more humid it is, the less it works and our body stresses. So our natural air conditioning system is evaporation. When you step out of a bath or a shower, when do you feel cooler or warmer? You feel cooler when you get out. And people will say, oh, it's because there's water on your skin. No, it's actually because the water is evaporating. It takes 500 times the energy to evaporate this much water than it does to raise it 1 degree Celsius. And when it evaporates, where does it get its energy? It steals it from the environment. So, human bodies adapted from time, and when you get hot, your body doesn't work well, and it can do damage to your body. So your body opens up holes in your skin and puts out sweat, like I'm doing now on a big hike like this.
And me too.
Yes. And when there's sweat on your body, some of it evaporates. Now, the more humid it is, like today, your sweat isn't evaporating as fast, so your body's not cooling as much. So what do? You sweat more and it builds up, and that's why you get sopping wet when it's humid, even when it's not that hot. Now, the experiment I said you could do at home to see this effect, I want you to take one hand, put it underwater, and keep the other hand dry, and just wave them like this. And one hand is going to feel much cooler than the other because of the evaporation. And when the ground is really moist, it prevents us from getting as hot. But when we're in a dry pattern like this, we can hit 90s, kind of like what we're seeing now.
Talking about weather with Chief Meteorologist Joe Murgo. And Joe, for boys and girls out there who want to go hiking, is there a better time to hike part of the year than another time?
There is always a better part of the year, and that's usually when it's a bit cooler. In the fall is my favorite time. The humidity is lower, you get some crisp mornings, and then warmer afternoons. But any time of the year, even in a heat wave like now, you can get out and hike. It may not be the best time of the year, but you can pick the right time of the day, and that's why we came out in the morning to do the hike. So it's better to get up early in the morning and do it and get your hike done, and then you can relax and go to the pool the rest of the day.
A lot of boys and girls are going to find things on their hikes they might want to share with others, and you've got a neat way to do that.
Yeah, there is actually something called Project Noah. Go to projectnoah.org or just search Project Noah and Central PA, and we have our own little mission there. And when you find something, a critter or an insect that you can take a picture of, and you don't know what it is, you send the picture in and someone will actually take a look at it and tell you what it is, and then you can do research about that critter. And a lot of times it can even be, I found some interesting snakes and spiders before doing that. I know it sounds creepy, but it is really cool. And there's also something else that you could try too. And Project Noah is good to finding something, and it sometimes takes a little time to get it back.
So in addition to Project Noah, there's another new place you found that kind of connects people to information that they might find with cool things out on their hikes.
Yes, it's called PlantNet. My videographer used to tell me to think about planet when I would say it. If you get that app and you take a picture, just like the tree right below us, I wanted to make sure that was a hemlock. That's our state tree. And I went, took a picture of it, and submitted it to the app, and it told me right away what tree it was. And it's also great for kids who are doing home gardening. You don't know if it's the plant you want in your garden, or the flower, or a weed. You can tell the differences on that too.
So I'm getting a walk down 1,000 steps with my friend Joe and his videographer so that we'll be safe together. You know, going down is almost as tricky as going up. You might not exert enough energy, but you have to pay very close attention when you're walking on each of the steps, boys and girls. Here we are, walking down the steps. Joe says we're getting close because you can hear the traffic, but you have to be very careful and take one step at a time. Coming down is no easy task, boys and girls. All right, boys and girls, we are back where we started. Can you tell how much sweat I have on my body? It was worth it. It's a wonderful hike. Going up is tough, going down is tough. Make sure if you end up coming to 1,000 steps here in Huntingdon County, you take your time, you come with a grown-up, and you go slowly and bring lots of water with you and take, some breaks along the way going up and down. Till next time, I'm Carolyn with Wednesday's Walks.